Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you are listening to Journey to Mercy on Covenant Radio, a special coverage of the West African Faith Believers Convention, Wafbec 2022, with me, Ololade Olize and Kuzompua. We are transmitting live from the Covenant Place at Igomu, right here in Lagos. If you're just joining us, just a reminder that you can be a part of the program. Connect with us on all our social media handles using the hashtag Journey to Mercy at The Covenant Radio on Facebook and on Instagram. I'll send a message to our WhatsApp studio line on 0818 600 0021 0818 600 0021. We'd love to hear from you so that you can share your Wafbec experiences from you. And if you just want to say hello to us in the studio as well, we very much love to hear from you. Before we went on break, we had our first interview with the head of department of the venue management department. And of course, we have another guest in the studio. Our second guest is right here in the studio. Kuzompua, tell us who he is.
Presently, we have the HOD of the ushering department for the Covenant Nation. We get to know you, sir.
Thank you. Tola Obiemi is my name.
Mr. Tola Obiemi, we've seen some of the great works your department has really done during this Wafbec edition, and we want to know what's the spirit behind it and how you guys have really worked towards putting this in.
Okay, there's no way you work with the senior pastor, Pastor Poju, and you're not key into the spirit of the vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
that's what we're using.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you. What's the preparation for Wafbec like, most especially this edition?
Okay, so it's been very intense though, because I remember vividly that we started preparing very well since September.
Okay.
We had to look at what we had last year, January.
Okay.
And we know that in Covenant, it's all about increase every time.
Okay.
So we planned for increase.
Okay.
So we had a flop plan ready.
Okay. All right.
We looked at it several times and see how we can deploy a solution that can make it a seamless flow of crowd.
Wow.
Without distracting anybody. So we started that since September till the very first day of Wafbec.
Well, because throughout the whole year, we've been seeing how the large numbers of ushers and the kind of way everything has been organized properly. Yeah. Lolade,
I would just like to ask you as well, with the expansion of the church as well, obviously, it must be, how do you coordinate this much larger workforce? Because now with all of the various centers that we have as well, I would just like to know just talk us through how you were able to coordinate all of the various workforce so that to ensure that, we have enough hands to serve at Wafbec.
That was part of the preparation since September, because we carried all the centers along. We've been meeting every week since up to even right now to make sure that from Igondo, Abulegba, Festa, Kisolo, Lekki, Shangotedo, Maryland, Ikeja, they're all carried along. All of them are here, all the ushers from all the centers. And we've been preparing, we've been praying, we've been planning since September.
Fantastic. I would just also like to know as well, I know that, as an usher, you are like on duty 24/7. So I'm wondering, how do you connect to the administration? Is it something that you defer till after Wafbec? Maybe you listen to Wafbec messages, or is there a way that you still ensure that you still connect to the Wafbec sessions while still doing your duty as ushers?
Okay, apart from the fact that we listen to the message after service, we were able to have a very large workforce, so that you are not so stressed for you not to listen to the message. So you notice that during the message you're seated, and we have been trained to connect to the message and still being alerted, about your environment. Okay, so we have enough workforce to not make you stressed.
Okay, so on a lighter note, I just wanted to ask as well, is there a criteria for being ushers? Because I noticed that they are always tall. Me, I'm not tall, so I'm wondering, is there a criteria for being an usher? Do you have to be, always tall?
Well, that's the criteria, though. Don't mind me, but yeah, you have to be good looking.
Oh.
You have to be I don't want to use the word very spiritual, but you just have to be spiritual, because that's the first thing. When we go through the interview process, we want to profile you and have a background, and before the interview, we've prayed and fasted, so that as they are talking to us, the Holy Spirit will help us also. And then we have more than like a month of training and 3 months probation.
Wow.
So if you're able to bypass you during interview, during training, within 3 months, we will test you and see if you're really qualified to be endorsed as TCN or Usher member.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing. But finally, before we go, we just want to ask you, what's your own expectations for Wafbec? Your personal expectations for Wafbec?
So each time I come for Wafbec, I expect to increase. That the Lord will enlarge my coast more than what I experienced the upper.
Okay, and I pray that
both
God,
physically, spiritually.
Fantastic, and I pray that God will grant you your heart desire and will cause you to increase in every area of your life. Thank you so much, Mr. Tola OBM, for taking time out to come chat with us as well. We appreciate your time and do enjoy the rest of your work.
You're welcome. You're doing well.
Thank you very
so much.
Trumpet sound, ushering the move of God. We will raise a shout.